And it's in life, I've actually found that the people that make less, some of my most generous people I've met in life are not the wealthiest or the richest. And yet they're still the people that give the most.
Isn't that
And it's
crazy how that goes?
even more for them because
So
the percentage
crazy.
of what they make, it's such a big gift from them.
It's beautiful, man.
But it's addicting. You
It's
start
so
giving
addicting.
and, you start pulling people up that ladder with you.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Dollars and Cents, the podcast. I'm your host, Amy Dahl, and here we're sitting in my living room having conversations about leadership, generosity, and family success. And today, I'm really excited to welcome Tilman.
Thank you. For having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So Tilman is a fellow Naval Academy grad
Yeah.
and a realtor in our market with Keller Williams. We won't hold that against you, but I love it. So welcome.
Thank you for
Thanks
having
for
me on this
joining
podcast. I'm very excited to chat with you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us some background.
So, like you said, Tilman Dunbar, from Northern Virginia, Woodbridge, Virginia to be exact. 2016 Naval Academy grad,
Woohoo.
right? Roll goats.
I love it.
So commissioned as an officer back in 2016. I served 6 years in the military. I got out as a surface warfare officer. Got out back in March of 2022. So next month will make 3 years of me transitioned from the Navy. Been a realtor for coming up on 4 years now. So my last year in the Navy overlapped with my first year in real estate.
Yeah.
So it's been a tremendous journey. Currently the CEO, Keller Williams Elite 757. I also have a sales team that I do actively sell. Avid investor. I love flipping. I own a couple apartment buildings, and I'm heavy, and I know we'll dive deep into it today on the charity aspect. So do a lot of giving back to the community via coaching, via school supplies, basketball, you name it. I kind of try to dip and dabble in those things. So I love it. And again, I just want to thank you for having me on the podcast this morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you opened up like Pandora's box. All these topics I want to go
Yeah.
dive deep into. So, talk to me a little bit because I don't flip. In full disclosure, I don't flip. I do property management,
Okay.
a lot of it.
Okay.
Um,
You want to manage
but,
some of my properties for me?
only if they're not short term. I don't do
Oh
any
no,
short term
all
rentals.
long term. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll-
talk.
we'll
We'll talk
chat.
online. We'll
We'll
talk offline.
But I also don't. All of the properties I own, because I'm an investor as well,
Yeah.
are residential.
Love it.
So I would love to chat with you about purchasing, apartment complexes as well too.
Absolutely.
So talk to me about how you first decided to get into real estate. We'll go down that road first,
Yeah.
and then your investment journeys.
Yeah, so it's funny. So transition out of the military, I was trying to decide whether I'm gonna go department head
Yeah.
or whether I was gonna go into civilian life,
Yep.
right? So
Remember those struggles?
Yeah, oh my
I
goodness,
did it too,
yeah,
and I overlapped real estate with Navy.
yeah. So it was a hard decision. I was like, you know what? I had a buddy of mine who's also a former Naval Academy grad that you may know, 𝐾𝐭.
Love him.
Yeah,
he's coming.
awesome.
He's
Yeah,
going to be a
he'll
guest.
on
He
the
just doesn't know it
podcast
yet.
too.
Actually, I
Yeah.
think he does know it yet,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
we let him know.
He's on the schedule.
But no, so I was sending him a lot of business, right,
Yeah.
from all my academy buddies, about 8 to 10 deals a year, just giving to him, and he's like, "Yo, Till, you're sending me all this business. Get your license, just so I can give you a referral fee." And I was like,
Yes.
it's cool. Okay. I guess I don't have any interest in real estate. My plan was I majored in economics at the academy. So I was going to go be a finance bro and do my MBA and do the
Yeah.
Wall Street thing. And that was my plan.
It's a
getting
very
out the
typical
Navy.
Naval Academy plan.
Straight pipeline,
Right.
right? So it's so funny how a lot of us go down that path. So that was my vision for myself. And then, no, he gave me the referral. I got my referral license, and he was like, this is awesome. And I had another buddy challenge me to do more, right? He was like, hey, if you can do this referral thing, I promise you, I was active duty and I was still selling, right? And I was like, okay, I'll try it for a year.
Yeah.
If I do great and I like it, I'll keep doing it. If not, I can always just do my original plan,
Yeah.
right? So my first year, I had tremendous success. I was able to, close and be a part of 22 transactions my first 9 months of real estate.
Awesome.
And yeah, I was like, okay, I might have a knack for this. And that just kind of spearheaded my journey from there. And I've kind of run with it ever since, and I haven't looked back.
Nice. Yeah, it's hard when you start when crushing it to
It's
like start
hard,
thinking about
man.
going back to grad school. I
I'm
remember those
telling you, man.
days.
Oh my goodness, it's tough. That's probably the hardest
Yeah.
thing I've ever made. And in the Navy, like when we see those first couple checks, and you know, you're making more than some of your counterparts, even some of
Yeah.
your commanding
Yeah.
officers and people who are in charge of you. And it's hard to kind of look at that and be like, all right, I'm dedicating 80, 90, 100 hours a week to this.
Yeah.
Granted, it's great service. We love it, but you're missing family time. You're going on deployments,
Yes.
like you shared. Dealing with the deployments and duty days and all those things. And it's like, wow, I can dedicate all those hours to some that will be a higher dollar producing activity.
Return.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of a no brainer at that point.
Yeah. And it's a leap of
Yeah.
faith to go from, a paycheck every
Absolutely.
2 weeks, whether I was sitting around the ready room or you're sitting around the ship, you get
Mhm.
paid, to commission based. But once you make it and and you can start thinking like that entrepreneur, which is just a different mindset than they teach you in the Navy.
Absolutely.
They teach you kind of to follow the rules and a little bit to think out of the box, but to transition to that entrepreneurial mindset. Once you know that you can do it, it's hard to go back.
Super hard,
It
man.
is.
Super hard. And I'll always bet on myself. I would double down bet on myself because at the end of the day, we're not going to fail ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of people who might love us and care for us and take care of, but at the end of the day, you're not going to let yourself down. So
Yeah.
it is an extreme leap of faith, but that's why you're
Yep.
successful. That's why a lot of us are successful in this because we're going to go to bat for ourselves every single day.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's going to be my saying coming out of this. To bet on yourself.
Yeah.
So you hit your 4-year anniversary this year,
Yeah.
and you're flipping houses and
Yes,
have
ma'am.
invested in apartment complexes,
Yes,
which is
ma'am.
amazing. Tell us about that journey. How'd you decide to go down that road?
So again, I've been super blessed with a lot of tremendous people in my life, and I am very religious, and so I believe in God, and I think God doesn't make mistakes, right? So the people He's put in my life have just
Amen.
tremendously, drastically changed my life, right? So when He puts an opportunity in front of me, I kind of lean into it and run
Yep.
with it, right? So I had a officer who was my commander in the Navy on my last ship, my last command. And I was an Aux Div, so I was Aux Divo, E-Divo, and he was my OXO. And we would have conversations all the time about real estate, right? And that was just when I was starting to flip. So I thought I was doing the thing. I had like 2 flips. I'm doing all the activities.
I
I'm
love it.
running. I'm grinding. He was like, Tilman, I love what you're doing. I can 10x your return on that for all the activity and energy you're pouring into flips if you just circle that and focus on doing that for apartments, right? And it's called multifamily syndications, right? He was
Yep.
like, I'll teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this. He was like, Tilman, I will make you rich. I said, well, sign me up, right?
That's all you needed to say.
Sign me up. Like,
I'm a young
I'm in.
man.
What I need to do,
Yep.
A to Z.
Teach
And
me.
I'm a big proponent of like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? Just
Yeah.
align yourself with people who have done the
Yes.
things you want to do at a high level.
Yes.
Right. So,
Oh my gosh, I say that to my agents weekly. Find a mentor who's doing what you want to do.
seriously,
And follow them.
and to the T.
Yes.
Right. And
Because they're already doing it.
I genuinely can say with a passion, like I have not done anything out of the scope. I've just aligned myself with high level character people and high level producers, right? So whether that be in sales,
Yep.
I align myself with the 𝐃𝐨𝐿, Jordan Griggs, like align people with that. On investments, I've aligned myself with, my commander. In the flips, I've aligned myself with another mentor and just people who've done it at a high level. And I'm like, okay, teach me the game and I'll take it from here, right?
Yeah.
So, big proponent on that. But anyways, that's how I got into apartments. I had a commander. He said, I'm going to hold your hand through your first deal, teach you all the ins and outs, and after that, it's on you. And I've ran with it ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now did you say you have 2 apartment complexes?
Yeah, I currently have 2. I'm under contract for a few more. 34 unit, a 24 unit, and I'm working on 54 unit as well. So
All here in Hampton Roads? Or do you
the
diversify?
34 unit is in Tennessee, but all the other ones are in Hampton.
For you. That's
ma'am.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. We're going to talk afterwards. 'Cause
Yes,
everything
ma'am.
I do is single family residential because that's what my mentor's always done.
Yeah.
And so,
I'm
that's
telling
where
you,
we.
that's what I thought as well, because I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, multi-million-dollar properties is too much. And then my mentor was like, dude, I will literally walk
literally.
you through this and I'll change your life. I was like, and he held true. So forever to this day, love you, my guy. Yeah, so I haven't looked back since.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So What really intrigues me, we have all the real estate commonalities, and we could talk forever on those.
Right, right.
But I know a little bit, and I want to share with the viewers because I don't know much about your generosity, and that's one of the pillars of our podcast is
I love
generosity.
it.
Because I'm a firm believer in giving back as well, and it's my faith that drives that, just like
Mm.
you. And
Yep.
so, um, talk to me about. So you grew up in Liberia, right? Or you're
Actually, no,
from
no. I'm
originally?
from. So I grew up here in America. I'm first generation American. My parents grew
Grew
up
up
in
in.
Liberia. They came here when they were 16 to escape a civil war, right?
Yeah.
And they came here with their brothers and sisters. No family. Their parents stayed back, and they really had themselves to fend for, right? And yeah, it's just
Unbelievable,
tremendous.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's just crazy. Like, it's really the tenet of my life because there's no way I can complain about anything.
No, because
Right?
you
Could
look
you
at.
imagine going to another
No,
country at 16, not
no,
knowing anybody,
nope.
and having to figure it out?
Or
Like,
I can't imagine as a mom sending my kids either.
you know what I
The
mean?
faith
That's
that that
great.
takes to let my kids walk out the door at 16 and start a new life in a new
It's
country.
insane, right?
Yeah.
So, the fact that they're able to go through that and venture through and go to college, and my dad's a lawyer and my mom's a accountant by trade, but she's semi-retired now, works for my dad and everything like that. She's had a long career in corporate America, 30 plus years. Yeah, the fact that they're able to find so much success and take care of myself and my brother and raise us and give us everything we wanted when we were younger and give us a tremendous opportunity that I can go to the Naval Academy. Yeah, it's just mind blowing, right? So anything I have that comes up to me in life, I'm like, this is nothing. This is peanuts compared to what they had
Yeah.
to go through to even put me in this position. So big tenet for my life. Yeah.
Nice. And so you own a foundation, correct?
I do. I own a foundation and I'm executive board member on another foundation that my best friend started.
Okay, so tell
Yeah.
us what you do.
Yeah, so the Puso Foundation is the main one that I align myself with, and that was started by my best friend, Robert Benez.
And what's it called again?
The Puso Foundation.
Puso.
So Puso, in Tagalog, he's Filipino, right? And we're mainly based in the Philippines, but we do global outreach, right? In Africa, Central America, South America, Asia, all over the globe. But Puso in Tagalog means heart, right? And the acronym PUSO for us is purposeful, unconditional service to others, right? So
Love it.
it's a nice little play on
Yeah.
the word itself, but yeah, I mean we do kind of everything that does aligns with giving back hope, opportunity, and just really love to underprivileged and underrepresented communities around the world, right? So we'll build wells, we'll build houses, we'll donate medical supplies, school supplies, we'll do basketball camps, we'll build basketball courts, you name it. We kind of dabble in it. And the coolest thing is that all the people a part of our organization are multicultural, right? So all the places we've been around the world, it's where one of our members of our organization is from, right? So I'm from Liberia, so I'll go do Liberian outreach. We have members from Kenya, Ethiopia, Honduras, Nicaragua, Puerto Rico, Philippines, right? So we'll go to these places where our families are from and then give back, right? We have so much here in America. We've had so much opportunity. So if we can get a smidgen, excuse me, I'm sorry, a
No, you're
smidgen
fine.
back to our homeland, that's what really powers and motivates us. So it's been an amazing journey so far.
It's awesome. And you've been back to Liberia. You were a Navy basketball player,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so you've gone back and led basketball camps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just came back from my third iteration in Liberia, and this was my longest time there. I was there for 10 days this time, and I was able to host two basketball camps. So my first time was in 2019. My second iteration was last year in 2023, and then I was able to go, December 25th through January 5th of this year. So it's been amazing, and I shared it on my page the other day, but and Sony knows this a little bit, but the fact that just the reception I get, like something I don't think too much of, right? So we'll put together a package of like $1,000 to $1,500 of school supplies,
Yeah.
right? And I'll go host a basketball camp for 2 hours, 3 hours in a day, and I don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
But to those kids and those parents in that community, it's everything.
Yeah.
right? And just seeing the looks on their faces, the appreciation, the gratitude, it's so moving, right? And I mentioned this, but this one was really a spiritual experience for me, right? Just being so in touch with my homeland. Like I have a lot of family there. Um, I was able to do the basketball camp at my parents' grade school, right? And help the kids that, 40, 50, 60 years ago, that was them, right? In
Yeah.
those shoes. And I'm able to go a generation later and be a representative from America to go give back to where they were standing such a long time ago. It's just such a full circle experience, and it was just really moving. So
It's really
beautiful.
neat. And
Yeah.
you don't know what those kids are going to take away from it.
Dude,
It's so much bigger than basketball. It's showing them that there's a big, wide world out there, people that care for them, and they just don't even know it. And
man, nail on the head. And I think that's the biggest thing about what the Puso Foundation does and my other organization, Against the Odds. That's what it is. Like just providing a smidgen of hope or opportunity,
yeah,
a glimmer of what could be.
yeah,
Right? You don't know what you don't know.
mm-mm,
In real estate,
you
we don't
don't.
know what we don't know. But once we find out something, we're like, oh, it's a whole new world that's open to us. Same kind of thing is a tenant in the premise. Like, we just go show these kids, hey, there's help out here. There's a lot of opportunity out here. Like it's a whole new world, and we don't know how that changes the
Yeah,
trajectory of their life. So I love it, man. It's just an amazing feeling to be able to give back to your homeland and where you're from, or not even that, just give back to people who need it,
yeah,
because we have so much.
yeah.
So
Because it's just the right thing to do.
just the right
Right
thing
thing
to
to do.
do.
And it's addicting. You start doing it
Very
and you
addicting.
realize how much you have, and it's just eye opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you want to
It
go
does.
get
Makes you wanna
go
do
get more so you can give
Yes.
more, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. It
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
you want to work harder.
Like,
so
man,
that
I'm
you
not
can
giving
give
enough.
more.
I want to go give more, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So,
It's
yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
And it's in life. I've actually found that the people that make less, some of my most generous people I've met in life are not the wealthiest or the richest. And yet they're still the people that give the most.
Isn't that
And it's
crazy how that goes?
even more for them because
So
the percentage
crazy.
of what they make, it's such a big gift from them.
It's beautiful, man.
But it's addicting. You
It's
start
so
giving and,
addicting.
you start pulling people up that ladder with you.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
mean,
really,
literally, that is my why in life, right? I want to be wealthy enough, rich enough to where I can make generational, economic, real life changing impact on Liberia. Right?
yeah,
So that's my big why, right? So, and even in my community here in Virginia Beach, I want to be wealthy enough to where I can make real impact in the community, right?
yeah,
Because you do need money to be able to make changes and make
yeah,
plays. But yeah, like you said, it's so addictive. It's so
yes,
addicting.
it is.
Yeah.
So tell me about Against the Odds. So that's your other charitable
Yeah, so
foundation.
Against the Odds, we focus on basketball, right? So we're doing the basketball camps. We're building basketball courts in West Africa. We're hyper focused. So my co-founder in that is one of my former coaches from high school,
Yeah,
and he's from Sierra Leone, right? So he's been focusing on Sierra Leone and doing basketball camps there and building basketball courts. I've been focusing on Liberia, and then we want to expand to all of West Africa, and then eventually all of Africa. But we're just starting focusing on West Africa because you don't want to bite off too much
yeah,
that you can't chew. So, but yes, that's the premise of it. We're solely focused on basketball because again, there's so much talent there, right? And so many kids, but they don't have the opportunity, right? They don't have
yeah,
shoes on their feet to play basketball. They don't have balls to go shoot. They don't even have functional courts. Something we take for granted. We can go to the rec center down the street and
yeah,
have air condition and
yeah,
hardwood courts and the perfect basketball. These kids are just like, hey, I'll go shoot on a crate tied to a pole.
yeah.
They're having the time of their life, right? So it's just being able to go give these kids opportunities to have a better life in any aspect, whatever that looks like, So that's what our focus is with Against the Odds is the basketball piece of it.
That is really cool. And is that the gentleman that you do that with that's still in Northern Virginia? That's where you grew up?
Yeah, he's in Northern Virginia,
Yeah.
in Maryland specifically. Yeah.
Nice. Is Cleo with you on that one?
He's not.
He's a big basketball
He is
guy.
a big guy, a big basketball guy, and yeah, but not tight end. Eventually,
Yeah.
I'll bring him in. He has a lot of kids to focus
Yeah.
on right now.
I know he does.
Like, you guys got
Brand
all
new
the
baby.
kids. Brand new
Yeah.
baby. You guys got all the kids.
Yeah.
So that's why I like being Uncle Till. You know, I can go pop in, pick the baby up, give him a kiss, give him right back.
You know, my producer Sony, for those of you who don't know, has got 6 and a 7th one on the way.
You guys say a
And I
prayer
get
for
to-
Sony today.
I get to be Auntie Amy
God,
all the
kids,
time.
yeah.
I get to
I
hug
like
the
it. Uncle
babies.
Till, yeah.
Yep. So,
I love it.
very cool. Well,
Yeah.
that's exciting. So tell us what you love about real estate. We'll go circle back to real estate again.
Man, I guess this is just the premise for my whole life. I just love the fact that I can help people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a different way of giving back, right?
Yeah.
And like the fact of, you know, me being a young black man that went to the Naval Academy, and, you know, I'm doing all these cool things, that we have access to resources that other people don't know they can have access to, right?
Yeah.
So they think they need $50,000 to buy a house, right? They've seen their parents do X, Y, and Z, so they don't know that they even have grant programs. They have first time home buyer this, or like they only have to put 3.5%, whatever it is. I just like the educational piece, to being able to change someone's life for generations to come.
Yes.
And it really motivates me to go out there and be able to pour into other people. I love it. And then, you know, being in the CEO role for Keller Williams, the fact that I can go pour into agents,
Yeah.
right, and teach them how to sell real estate,
Yep.
so they can change their lives or their family's life. It's just, it always comes back to being able to help others, man. And that's what I love the most about real estate. You know,
Yeah.
it's cool. I mean, we make money from helping others, but at the basis of it, like, I've done many a transaction where I don't get paid on transaction. I've had to give up money on the transaction, but I'm still fulfilled because
Yeah.
I helped someone get into their dream home.
And they never forget that.
They'll never
They don't.
forget it. Change their life, their family's life, and that's what motivates me each and every day to wake up and go and do more real estate.
Yeah. I think that was my biggest learning point getting into real estate. I was so nervous to go into a sales field. I was kind of like you when I was transitioning from Navy to real estate. My dad had gone into real estate. He's a retired Master Chief.
Nice.
And I thought, you know, he's not salesy at
Yeah,
all, at
right.
all. And he, you know, he's very quiet, kind of stoic individual. And he crushed it in real estate just because he worked really hard. And I thought, well, I'll give it a try because my dad did it, and if he could do it, and realizing that it really, to be successful, I mean, there are people that are salesy that are successful, but to really be successful in real estate, it's not sales. You're taking care of people. All it is just taking care of people. You're making something happen for them that may or may not otherwise happen. They may
Right.
buy a house, they may not, but you don't have to sell them on buying a house. You're changing their life. You're helping them do something. So you pour into people, and it just comes back to you, and it comes back to you tenfold if
Isn't
you
it
do
crazy?
it right.
You can tell the agents who come from a place like that to where I'm here to help people, to where they are the salesy type, and
Oh, yeah.
like they're only
You see
here
right
for
through
the
it.
check. Oh,
Yep. But and then
Immediately.
I have people say to me all the time, and you know, because you're in management at a real estate brokerage, you know, why would you take on being a broker owner? Because money's in sales. You know, money is not in being
you do
a
not
broker.
make money being a broker.
No, you do not. We'll just lay
And
that right
owning
out
a brokerage
there.
is
Yes.
not the money play. I
Yes.
tell you that.
And it sucks your time more than
All
anything.
your time.
But
It's
but
not
it's
in
so
there.
rewarding to be on this side of
Yeah,
things
yeah.
because you get to now pour into agents and
Amen.
you get to give
Amen.
them a chance.
Amen.
You know, I think of, you know, calling an agent who wants to expand to a team, and she's
Amen.
taking on property management, saying, you can do this.
Amen.
You can do this, and you can buy back your time, and you can buy back your life. And so you're pouring into other agents to teach them that.
Amen.
And I get to pour into people that have retired from the Navy and tell them, hey, there's a great big world out there outside the military. Like, there's a
Huge,
whole different
huge,
world that you just don't know
huge.
about
We're
yet.
focusing that little
Yeah,
shell right there,
yes.
but then when we get it, like, oh my God, it's all new.
Yeah, there's a world where I can work, and the harder the work, I better I do, not the harder I work, the more duty hours I get.
Oh
you know,
man!
it's different.
All right,
So,
that's a touchy subject. We won't go there.
I
We
love
won't
it.
go there.
But it's just yeah, when you have that epiphany, it changes the way you look at real estate.
Absolutely,
I actually
absolutely.
you know, I had somebody ask me you know, as a broker owner, bringing on Keller agents, Keller Williams agents, why would you do that? I'm like, you guys, you're missing the big picture. There is a great big world of real estate out there. And if you view everybody as your competition, you're missing the boat because
Man,
your
come
clients are going
on.
to come back to you, and my clients are going to come back to me because we poured into them.
Come on.
We poured into them. So
Yeah.
if we share that, they realize that we're all out there for their
Come on,
best
man.
interests.
We're all on the same team.
Yeah,
at the
we
end of
are.
the day, man, and we talk about it all the time. Collaboration over competition,
Yes,
man. Because
yes,
like
that's 𝐃𝐿eo's big thing. I love
yeah,
it. He says it all the time.
That's our mantra. Like we talk about it all the time, and we
Yeah.
feel it over there. Like, you know, like there's no reason. There's so much for everyone to eat off of. Like, we can
Yes.
all win. Like,
Yes.
even though we're Naval Academy, you have a way different sphere than I have.
Yeah.
Like, it's like we're from 2 different generations, 2 different times. Like, we're
Yes.
still in the same bubble of Naval Academy, but it's completely
Yeah.
different, right? And I'm from Northern Virginia, and you're from, here. Like, it's like wherever. It's just
Yeah.
too much. Like, you'll never step on someone's toes. So
Nope.
that,
But you can bring them
closed-mindedness.
up with you, and they can bring you up. I mean,
Amen.
it's yeah.
Like, amen. Like, so I want to look
Love
in
it.
the camera right now. All of us, we should combine together.
Yes.
We can all win together, guys. We should just keep that in the forefront. There's no need for us to step on each other's toes. We can all win together.
Yes.
It's such a small sphere of us. We're what, 6,500 realtors now, or
Yeah.
in our MLS, and we're dwindling, right?
We are.
So we can
We
all
are.
work together.
And we do typically when the market shifts.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. When it bubbles and it busts again, we'll get up to 10,000 again. But like, we
Yep.
can all win, and so I love the fact that you said that.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of it's a topic that's come up a lot since I started the podcast of, hey, are you going to reach out outside your podcast? I'm like, oh yeah, I am.
I love
That's
that.
the whole premise of it. Is
that.
let's bring each other up and learn from each other. And one of the things I've loved is that I get to learn from other people. So we're going to talk a lot offline because I'm
love it.
excited.
I'm excited too.
All right. So in wrapping this up, where can people find you?
Oh, you remember it.
I
Of
do.
you. I'm proud of you.
you.
So you can find me on Instagram or Facebook. My Instagram is TDIII. I am Tilman Dunbar III. So TDIII_. And on Facebook, it's just my name, Tilman Dunbar III. So very easy to find. It's a very unique name. No one else in Virginia Beach has it. So
Love it. That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
I have
Amy.
loved
Seriously,
following
thank
your
you so much.
successes, and especially as a fellow Academy grad, which just
Yeah.
makes it extra sweet.
It does. Like nice little cherry on top, right?
Yeah,
I
it
love
is.
it. Yeah.
It is. It's so awesome. So, best of luck with your foundations, and it's been really great having you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Dollars and Cents, the podcast. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you like us, find us on Spotify, find us on Instagram, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Awesome.